Namaste. This is Ambika Devi, giving you an audio version of an article you can find on my blog at ambikadevi.com. Enjoy gaining knowledge of the weaving together and constant connection of yoga for the mind, Ayurveda for the body, and Jyotisha, the study of astrology for the spirit. Milestone marker 64, October 27, 2023. I am often asked by people interviewing me to tell them what a typical day of mine looks like. This usually follows a bit of my responding to what it means to be a mind tamer and queries about how I handle life. The truth is that I experience life moment to moment, day by day, and year to year. There is no normal for me. Sure, I can look back at a day or a week and spot some patterns, but I handle what I can do and what I do without overthinking it. This morning, I awakened to what is called my 64th birthday. As this monumental moment has been approaching, I have been avoiding the voice in my head singing the Beatles song, When I'm 64. I remember being a child. Back then, I had many of the band's vinyl record albums, but never Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the one with that song. I've given you a link to the video in the print version of this blog, so please be sure to subscribe there and you'll get all the visuals that go with this recorded voice of mine. Back to the song When I'm 64. I'm pretty sure it freaked me out, reminding me of death, and I avoided wanting it in my collection. I could not escape hearing it on the radio. At the time, I didn't believe I would ever have the words, I am now 64, uttered from these lips. Last night, I was awake past midnight, and I did acknowledge the beginning of my 64th birthday before retiring to bed. I allowed a few of the lyrics from that song to float across my awareness as I shuffled to my bedroom in the dark. Hours later, I found that I was wide awake in the middle of the night's darkness, flipping and tossing around, and I had no idea what time it was. I gave up and felt my way over to the meditation space in my bedroom, and sitting up straight, I chanted the Maha Mrityunjaya mantra 64 times to honor each year that this body has carried me, the witness, with it. I was still sleepless when I finished, and I followed it up with a practice of pranayama. I did Kapalabhati and 16 rounds of Anuloma Viloma, an alternate nostril breathing practice. This pulled me into a deep level of meditation, and I let an image of two children, one Israeli, one Palestinian, with their arms around each other, and their free hands forming peace signs, grace the inside of my third eye. I had seen it earlier that day on a friend's social media account. I begged God to bring us peace on this planet. I felt gratitude for my friend who had posted this. After a long, silent meditation, I crawled back to bed and slept deeply, awakening very late that morning. As I sat down to write this, I thought about heading out to buy greens and cauliflower, maybe one or two. I was lucky and I did find two good ones, so that I could make another round of mashed cauliflower. I had made this along with sag, which is also known as palak, a few nights back, and it has been on my taste buds' radar ever since. I want more. While I was out looking for the elusive organic food that seems to be more and more scarce in this state of Florida where I live, and grows a lot of this food but ships it away to other places, I had the opportunity to talk with a couple of my closest friends. Brent is the one who still sends me a birthday card and buys me a gift. I'm grateful for our many decades of trust and friendship, and that we always stay connected. With him, I can talk about anything. I chatted with Dominic, who is losing his hearing, thank goodness for text communication. We had written a poetry book together, my third. I lost count on how many books he has published. Our book is about love, water, and the cosmos, quite fitting as he is an avid fisherman who finds peace on the river. And me, I love to bask in the land of stars and nebula with floating planets. We captured the idea of this book in its title, The Wizard and the Wrench. I remember the night we met on his 70th birthday at an open mic years ago. Today he asked me how my teeth are. I was not gifted through DNA with the strongest of masticators. I responded to his query with a haiku. 2 teeth now are gone. Memories of words spoken, altar ornaments. I really did place the parts removed from this body and put them on an altar I have for Saturn. Dom and I tried to avoid the conversation of politics. He gets drawn there with his degree in history gained years and years ago. It gave me a moment to remind us both to pray for peace. Another dear friend, Lindsay, who is also local, and another I do not get to see often, gave me so much beautiful attention today. We do have the opportunity to video chat and text regularly. She is a busy mom with a household of 4. One of the stories I shared with her while thinking about this birthday is this. A couple of nights ago, when we last had rain, I was out back. There was no light from the sky, and my neighbors, who sometimes blast bulbs with wattage strong enough to make me feel like I'm living next door to a prison yard, thankfully had their lights off. I opened a screen door to toss a leaf outside that I had found on the deck, and a tiny tree frog jumped in past my shoulder and disappeared inside the pool enclosure in the inky velvet darkness. We have screen rooms that keep critters and much of nature out of our pools here in Florida. It was pitch dark, so I couldn't find the little creature. I felt really bad and said out loud, "Crap, this frog is going to die in here." A few days later, I was opening my slider and I noticed an imprint of half of a small frog that had been dried to the exterior side of one of the heavy doors. The poor thing had been squished in there, unbeknownst to me. I have not found its other part. The ants may have taken care of that. I was pretty sure that wasn't the frog I saw a few nights back. More days had passed, and it became this morning. I walked out back to feel the sunshine on my face as I make an effort to do and greet the new day. After, I usually walk around the pool to see if there's anything I need to clean up, and I noticed 2 little frogs, one sitting on a small ledge, looking out the back through the screen, the other sitting looking at frog number 1, both crispy fried and dried from the air and sunshine. I thought to myself, what a way to go, to be longing for fresh water and the world you left behind. I went outside to fetch a couple large leaves to collect the carcasses and lay them to rest. As I walked back in, I said out loud, may I never feel like this. May I always be grateful for this life and every moment. And may I never make stupid mistakes and jump through the wrong door. It is now getting late in the afternoon, and I have been following a trail that led me to 4 stores and later a car wash. When I finally arrived home, I roasted one of the 2 cauliflowers in the oven with olive oil and a little bit of hing, cumin, and salt. Tomorrow, I am a celebrant, conducting a ceremony of life to honor a client's mother and her transformation from this earth. The host, her devoted son, originally asked me to read tarot for the guests. I offered to add an honoring ceremony and a channeled message of psychometry from his beloved mother's spirit. I will be placing my hands on her urn to receive her transmission. Friends that I know and some who follow me that I have never had the pleasure of meeting are sending me messages of good wishes for a happy birthday and another healthy, prosperous year, full of joy and love. I am grateful to begin the new year and marking this milestone of time. A friend of mine has a habit of beginning each new year by doing a little bit of everything she wants to have happen during the year on the New Year's Day. I have taken on this habitual practice myself on January 1st as the calendar finds its new birth. Today I've decided to practice this on my birthday as well, beginning a new trend as I mark my personal new year in this physical body. I send my gratitude and thanks to everyone who has been sending me love and prayers. What I want for all of us to do is to focus on peace on this planet, our Terra, our Earth. I ask you to join me in healthy thought and healthy practices. Visualize along with me all beings having clean water and access to nourishing food. Pray with me that we all learn to live as one group of humanity in harmony with nature. It is a blessing and an honor to have you here reading these words and listening to me, describing my thoughts, feelings, and expressing through this voice. With love and in peace, Ambika Devi, Hari Om Tat Sat. This is Ambika Devi. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to visit my site and subscribe to my blog so you catch every new article I release. Visit my calendar and set up your first appointment with me so that we can take you on the path of transformation. The link is in the show notes.